One of the most common questions we get is feed. How often should I feed and how much should I feed? So my master's thesis, part of it, was on feeding frequency of juvenile striped bass. I was working at a fish farm, going to school at the same time, and we raised hybrid striped bass. And it was an economic question. We want to get the fish growing fast, but we don't want to waste food. So how often should we feed them, meaning how many times a day, and how much? And so my thesis looked at feeding them from once, twice, 3, 4, up to 5 times a day. The same percentage, it was either 1, 2, or 3% of their body weight. I had a lot of aquariums because this was all done at the same time, because if you do the different trials at different times, that's called pseudo-replication. So I had all these aquariums set up because I had reps and was feeding them different times. Because I was at the hatchery, I ran the hatchery, I could make sure that all the fish came from the same spawn, so we eliminated that variable. And what I found was that a smaller fish, feeding them 2 to 3 times a day was the best to get good growth. Now, that's for good growth. Do you need that if you're just trying to maintain them? Twice a day is fine. But you have to remember, look at the size of most fish that we get. They're very small. Even cichlids, maybe 2 or 3 inches. They're not 3, 4, 5, 6 feet like humans. So they have small intestines, small stomachs. They're passing that food rapidly. So overfeeding 5 times a day resulted in no growth and lots of waste and a lot of expense. But the sweet spot was 2 or 3 times a day, and it was 2% of their body weight, just a little bit. And this was for maximum growth. So for just maintaining, you could cut that back to 1%. And what does that translate into? What's the practical advice for you as a tropical fish keeper? Feed what they'll eat in just a few minutes. That's just practical advice. If you have excess food floating around after 5 minutes, then you're feeding too much. The other thing is, the smaller the fish, the more often that you should feed. The bigger the fish, they're holding their weight. They've got resources, basically tissue that they can absorb. You don't have to feed them as often. For this and other tips, follow us at Dr. Tim's Aquatics.